Welcome to the Alpha Pump Kitchen. Zach?
Sonny!
Hey, it's Chef Sonny, actually.
More or less.
Yep, so today we want to show you all how to do an effective food prep. This is a question we get from a lot of our clientele about, hey, how long do I cook the sweet potatoes for? Food prep takes me 4 hours, which it shouldn't.
Should the chicken be pink on the inside?
Yeah.
Gifts.
So there's some efficiency gaps that we would like to close for our clientele and even offer to you. So many benefits to food prepping. Not only will it keep you within your health goals, keeping your body lean, keeping your mind fresh and with energy, it actually is going to save you time throughout the week.
So you have 4 days worth of food in about 2.5 hours, and I can guarantee over that 4 days, if you're trying to eat out, you'd spend 4 hours just making the decision.
Yeah.
Because how often do you do that?
Well, so we're going decision making, which is going to take up time, and as we're on the aspect of time, that's the one thing we all perceive that we don't have enough of, but really you want to make time. And this is something that if you make time for, can give you a huge return. And it's also going to save you money. And that's a common misconception that eating healthy is expensive. And that's not really the case. It's all about being tactical and eating the foods that you actually buy so that you're not wasting food. And then obviously if you go out to eat, if you want to eat healthy out to eat, you go to Chipotle and spend $10 on a bowl. If you do that 3 times, that's $30 in a day, $210 in a week. I promise you, you're going to spend less than $210 on these groceries to be able to live a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a very basic prep just for the step one. Just for this, it's going to give you guys a base outline of everything that you need to know in terms of how to do it effectively and efficiently, and how to also make it taste good. And I'm excited.
All right, Chef Sonny, show us how to do food prep in 2 hours.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. All right, so first up we have potatoes. I'm going to be making some beef and chicken. I'm going to line it all out, and salmon as well. So we're going to be making a lemon pepper salmon. We're going to be making seasoned beef, and we're going to be making seasoned chicken as well. And we're going to throw in some mashed potatoes, and I'm going to make some rice in the rice cooker. The rice and potatoes are relatively easy. They're going to be very, very simple. 2-3 ingredients is really all you need. Season them out, and they're all good. It's the same thing with the meat, guys. It's really, really simple. I'm not doing this in as much quantity as I would usually do it because I still have some meal prep left in my fridge, but you can see what I'm doing. You can basically just add more or experiment on your own as well with things that you like. These are just the things that I like what I'm doing. So first, I already peeled the potatoes. If you guys don't know how to do that, you can look it up on YouTube, Google it. There's a bunch of ways you do it. You can nuke it if you want to. I prefer to boil it. I put a little bit of salt, I put a little bit of lemon juice in the water. It helps soak up, give the potatoes a little bit more flavor. And then there's a variety of ways that you can do it. If you're on prep and you're trying to lean out, you have to be a little bit more sparse with the things that you can put in. If you're not and you're bulking, you can do things like add a cup of almond milk or a little bit of butter, try to give it a little bit more flavor. And then after this, you're gonna get a mixing bowl, put them all in there, and then you're gonna get a potato masher, and you're gonna beat these things like they came out of the ground. All right, this is potato masher. They have things where you can do these automatically. I'm super cheap. This was like $3. Once you mash them up, nice and soft, you want to boil them until you can stick a knife through them, and when you pull it out, it should come smooth right out. It should be like slicing through butter. Once they've gotten to that point, they're usually soft enough that you can put them in here, and then you can mash them up. It's gonna look something like that, blot out. So, and then from here, there's a bunch of different things you can do, guys. You can put lemon juice, you can make lemon pepper, you can do minced garlic's really good. Roasted garlic's even better in my opinion, just depending on how you cook it. I probably do this 2 or 3 times. Just mix it, season it, mix it, season it. Give it a good flavor. Taste accordingly, and then once you get it to a place where you're like, okay, cool, solid, you can set it out to the side, let it cool off a little bit, put it in a big Tupperware, put it in the fridge, all done. Now, for some people that like the potato skins, because I know like Steven and Tyler, 2 other trainers that we work with, we're talking about how they actually like to keep the potato skins in their meals. You can actually put them in with a little bit of olive oil on the stovetop, and you can mix in, again, salt and pepper, however you want to season it. You leave them in there for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many you have, what the heat is, but anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. It'll actually start to dry them out and give them a little bit more of a crunch, and you can actually mix it back into the potatoes. Chicken. Yay! Highly recommend getting some aluminum foil. And you actually wrap it around the chicken. It helps create like a little heat trough. And it helps keep everything inside, so it helps with cleanup a little bit. So I put a little bit of olive oil in the chicken. I find it helps that the seasoning stick and the omega-3s are healthy for you. Plus it's Italian, so I'm pretty sure if I don't use olive oil on my food, my ancestors won't haunt me. All right, so you're gonna grab your chicken, separate it out nice and easy on the pan. So as the oven's preheating, you're gonna go ahead and season all this, get it where it needs to be. All right, so from here, there is a variety of things you can do. There's an endless amount of seasoning. So I'm actually on like a roasted garlic herb. They have, they sell these at HEB. I'm also a huge fan, if you have an HEB, if you're in Texas, I'm a huge fan of all the HEB seasonings that they have. Absolutely wonderful. They're really, really cheap. They're like $1.50 or $2, and the quality is really, really good. So you're gonna wanna rub the oil on all the parts of the chicken because it's what's gonna help the seasoning actually stick, more or less. And feel free to be generous with this. I always am. Once you have seasoned one side, flip it over. Obviously, who wants half-seasoned chicken? Once that's done, it's pretty simple. You're just gonna let it ride. It's when the preheating's done, we're gonna throw it in. And then I'm gonna move to the beef, and then when all this is done, I'm gonna throw the salmon in after.
So while the food is cooking, we've got the chicken baking and everything in there, cooking to perfection. We want to talk a little bit more about why this is important. So not only is it going to be time and money, but it's going to be your own personal goals. Two different ways that people come to me when they want to achieve a goal. Normally, the first thing they say is they want to feel better. And that is going to be a direct relation to obviously a body image, and how you feel about yourself is a direct reflection of your internal world. So we want to talk about like this body image and, oh, I want this body and I think it's superficial. It's not. It's about who you want to be. It's about how you want to look. So this, cooking in this manner and having your food ready with whole nutritious foods is going to change your body composition the fastest. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be so incredibly strict that this is all we eat, because that's not true. But it is what we eat the majority of the time, and because we do it for the majority of the time, we are allowed to be able to go out and have maybe ice cream on occasion or a burger and fries and still not sacrifice the body composition that we built. The other thing goes with this, obviously, is we need to go work out, right? You need to have some sort of physical activity. Working out, it doesn't have to be bodybuilding working out. You can go do yoga. You can do circuit training. You can do whatever it is that makes you happy. And this is the point of saying you want to feel good about yourself. And for that to happen, you have to take the personal accountability and responsibility to start doing the things that are going to make you happy. And this is definitely one of them. The other thing is, again, feeling good. And the food-mood connection is huge. Number one, olive oil, avocado, other healthy fats that are high in omega-3s like that will stimulate more dopamine and serotonin production for your brain, which actually will make you happier. Coincidentally, if you're eating whole nutritious foods, you're getting sugars that are coming from fruit. You'll get the energy you're supposed to get rather than the processed sugars that gives you the big jump and then the crash and then you're brain dead, right? So a lot of the people that we service, a lot of clients that we service, that we talk to, typically they're not eating enough, right? So you're only eating maybe one time a day, spiking your metabolism and then dropping and flatlining for low sugar, low blood sugar, and then your brain doesn't work so well. So we always recommend increasing your frequency of eating at least 4 times a day if you're only eating 2, and maybe 5 times a day being the most ideal at a 3.5 to 4 hour time standard. That's gonna be about the time it takes to digest the food and use the food for energy before you need it again. So if you really want to feel good, the type and quality of food that you're putting into your body is going to stimulate a different type of emotion for you. And then also the frequency that you eat will keep your energy levels more stable rather than spiking and down. Now we're on a stable line, and that stable line gives you the energy to be able to get through your day physically. And then really most of our energy is drained mentally, especially when we're at work or when we're with our kids or even our friends. I have clients, unfortunately, that will stop going out and hanging out with their friends because they're too tired, when hanging out with their friends is the life experience that actually makes you love life. So this is the balance, and for you to want to be able to do that, it all starts with the kitchen and then having some sort of physical activity in your life.
All right, so the chicken's in. It's got 8 more minutes. We're gonna pull it out here shortly. Before we do that, I'm gonna beat my beef. So what I do is a little bit of olive oil, same way through, because you know the curse of the Italian. If you don't put it in there, they won't love you. Salt, pepper, Seasonings, whatever you want to do, seasoning through and through. Afterwards I like to knead it through the actual meat itself. So I found if I didn't do this before, like everything, I would just get like, you get like a piece of like really bland meat, and then you get a piece of super seasoned meat. You can do this 2 or 3 times, add seasoning, knead it through, add seasoning, knead it through, keep going as required. Probably 2 or 3 times is usually enough that everything gets covered, more or less. All right, then after that, it's pretty simple. Get a big ass pan, turn on the heat, line the bottom with a little bit more olive oil, and then let's get started. But the key here is really, you're gonna wanna try to do as much as you can at the same time. You don't wanna have any like wasted space or wasted time. So usually if I weren't talking to you guys, I would be doing this. I would already be prepping the salmon all at the same time. So this would actually take me even less time than it would doing it here in front of you guys. I wouldn't have to, I would be talking my way through this. All right, so for the salmon, we're gonna do lemon pepper. That's why I got this. Real life lemon juice. And if you don't like salmon, tuna is also a really good replacement. Then you can just get the packs. They come in already like 6 ounce, I think they're like 6.5 ounce containers. So you don't even have to measure at that point in time. That's super simple, super easy. We're gonna put again a little bit of olive oil, same as always. Go around, healthy fats, all that jazz. Obviously when you get to prep and you're leaning out, you can't just throw olive oil and everything like what I'm doing right now. So then just do whatever your trainer tells you to do. It's very simple. 3 ingredients: lemon pepper. As always, season generously. And it's really important that you close everything over it. Well, the aluminum foil, that's why I have so much extra, because it creates like a little pocket of heat vacuum and it helps. Hey, looks like a little aluminum foil turd. Alright, still cooking this. The chicken's about to beep in 3 seconds. So that's done. So check this, and then I'm gonna throw this in, and then we will almost be done, ladies and germs. Look at that. You can smell it. It smells good as shit. Cut it open. Usually right down the middle. The thickest piece will tell you if the rest of it's cooked. I usually cut 2 or 3 of them just to make sure, because you don't want half the chicken. That's a quick way to salmonella. And then when all this is done, I'm going to put it in giant containers. And then you can there's 2 ways you can do it. You can put it in big containers and put it in your fridge, and then you can, from there you can get like the little individual meal containers, prep them out, weigh them out as accordingly. I'll do that on a day-to-day basis, usually at the beginning of the day. It takes me about 5-10 minutes real quick, fast, in a hurry. Or if I'm being like super extra because I know I have a really busy week and I just don't have the time, on Sunday when I do my meal prep, or on Wednesday when I do my meal prep, I will weigh out as many of them in the boxes as I humanly can. That said, if you are limited on fridge space, like if you have roommates like what I do, if you're limited on fridge space, putting them in giant containers will save you more space because there's less of the containers taking up the space in the fridge. It's still preheating, but it's just starting from 350, so it should be okay. We're gonna leave it in there for about 13 to 14 minutes. We're gonna check it. We might have to leave it in for a minute or 2 more, but that should be about it. And I am going to let the meat run. You see it keep cooking, and I'll keep that roasted. So, my meat's officially done. It's completed. Completed my meat. I'm gonna put a strainer in it because you want to get as much of the fat out as you possibly can. And try not to spill any of it into the sink. Okay, now that this is done, separate it out. Let's put through a strainer. I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit. Drop as much as possible. I'm gonna put it into a prep container for later. Also, what you can do with your vegetables, cook them up real fast. Shouldn't take long, it takes about 5 or 6 minutes. I don't ever buy fresh vegetables just because they go bad too quickly. But a neat little trick you can do is you put vegetables in a saucepan, and at a really low heat, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there and a little bit of seasoning, try to give it a different flavor. And if you put a little like clear top on top of it, creates steam. Helps make it a little bit more crunchy, a little bit better, and tastes a little bit different. So for this, because we're probably gonna put it with the salmon, I'm gonna do lemon pepper and salt, Just gonna press it down. Done. We're gonna do that there about 3 or 4 minutes. I'll grab the salmon here out shortly. It should be white and flaky. But that's how you know it's gonna be done. It's gonna be real white. It's gonna flake off. You don't want it to be too terribly pink. That means it's not finished, and you definitely don't want it to be black because it means that you burned it. And then that will have been everything. We will have made a pound of chicken. We will have made 2 pounds of beef, and we will have made a pound of salmon. And that was all done in roughly about an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes. And what will remain would just be setting it up however you choose to. I'll let you decide how to do that. We'll maybe have another episode later where we show you how I'd like to do it. But in terms of just getting the meal prep down and doing whatever you have to do, this is it. It's very easy. It's very simple. Nothing to it.